to me that the Sentinel that the Exostrider was delivering is actually still here under the lake, and probably still alive, maybe hibernating under the Exostrider's power. We've always known about the infamous Strider Gate preventing the Frenodian LF-1 from eradicating Lahai Roi, but the recent livestream has revealed a separate critical structure, the Keystone, which has been teased in thumbnails in the livestream but we still know so little about. This is just a real quick follow-up video on my reactions to 3.3 livestream, compounding on my previous theories I've covered in my prior videos. To summarize real quick though, my main theories that I presented are as follows. Number 1, that the land of Lahai Roi is not only heavily inspired by Norse mythology, but also based on the vertical layers of the Norse world, with the Exostrider sword Sundamir serving the role of the world tree Yggdrasil that penetrates all levels. Evidenced by how lore entries note, it is critical for the stability of the Earth's crust and how it stretches from the surface all the way to the Strider Gate where LF-1 lies past. Number 2, that the Sentinel that the Exostrider was tasked with carrying is most likely still in Lahai Roi somewhere, in some way, shape or form, and number 3, the Hiyuki may possibly be linked to this missing Sentinel, and that Ashinohara may have even been the intended destination of Lahai Roi's Exostrider, and that the reason why Ashinohara was mostly destroyed by the Lament was that they only received one Sentinel when they were meant to have 2. Within the recent livestream, we got a treasure trove of information that Dania is a manufactured Frenodian resonator created in a lab, an attempt by the Fraxis to mirror how Cardathea can contain and assimilate a Frenodian inside of her. That Hiyuki had the power of Ashinohara's Sentinel, Suzu, to trade her life in exchange for power. We even saw the Strider Gate for the first time, being a portal-like thing encased in a Yggdrasil-esque tree trunk. And of course, we saw the Keystone, in the same place as the Strider Gate, answering our question for what the hell the ominous structure in the livestream thumbnail actually was. Now, even though the livestream revealed a lot of information to us, there are 2 critical details which were gatekept without a reasonable degree of inference about them. Firstly, though we know that Hiyuki wields the power of Ashinohara's Sentinel, Suzu, and that she was protecting Hanami before it was destroyed, we have no idea why someone whose duty it was to protect Ashinohara came to Lahai Roi under so-called mysterious circumstances. And, number 2, we still have no idea what the Keystone is and what it does, besides knowing it was near the Strider Gate and the Exostrider placed it there a very long time ago. To preface this discussion, I think it is quite clear by now that the Keystone is the mysterious structure described in the Rebirth Uplands lore. It hangs inverted with its main body in the ground, it extends upwards pointing towards the Beata Woods, and we know that the dimmer planes, a new map in the livestream, are beneath the Beata Woods by the way, is also powered by the Exostrider's energy. It's made of the same material as the Exostrider, and has patterns on its surface. It's pretty obvious that that's what it was, right? As I said in my previous video, while many people had a lot of theories that this structure was the Strider Gate, with the new livestream we've however gotten visual confirmation that this isn't the case, because this is a Strider Gate. So the Keystone is a very separate entity, and it's even noted that the Exostrider placed this here, which means that it seems to be somewhat separate from its main body. Additionally, it's mentioned within the same Rebirth Uplands lore that the energy of the Exostrider flows through this structure, continuously feeding and sustaining whatever lies within the Keystone. We've already seen from the Tide Lost Forest map lore that the Sentinel is a separate entity, and most likely in Lahai Roi, given that past rover told the Heliotic 6 about it, and that the Academy most likely knows about it as well, but redacted the files. So it makes sense that the Sentinel is within the keystone, right? The system behind the keystone is so complex that potentially only Rover can crack it, perhaps similar to Imperator's chamber in Renacita. So that's why the people of Lahai Roi have never touched it and focused on the Exostrider instead. Now that it's been revealed that the Strider Gate and the keystone are so close to each other, is it possible perhaps that the Sentinel that the Exostrider was carrying basically gave up its power and life to seal the Frenodian? We've seen that even with Ameth's resonance, the Exostrider was barely able to push Aleph-1 past the Strider Gate. Now that the big FedEx boy is inactive, what even is stopping Aleph-1 from breaking through? After all, it's most likely going to be the Sentinel in some capacity. The new Whimpering Waste token, Cradle that holds the void, would make sense with this conclusion. It can be inferred that the Cradle is some sort of Sentinel hibernation pod, holding back the Frenodian's void, while when you read the lore description, it can be inferred that it's the musings of a Sentinel that never got to be born. And this is what I've been saying all along since 3.1. Even if Shorekeeper said that Lahai Roi has no Sentinel, it doesn't explain away where the Sentinel the Exostrider was carrying actually went. Do you really think that the Exostrider would protect itself from the Frenodian over the Sentinel cargo it was carrying, the very point of its existence as a delivery machine, and let it get eaten by the void to protect itself? I don't think so. It just doesn't seem to make sense to me that the Sentinel was eaten by Aleph-1 or something and already is a non-factor in the story because it's in the void. However, if the Sentinel was damaged, injured, or in some state where it couldn't wake up, then that would make way more sense, wouldn't it? But what do you think? Thank you very much for watching, and feel free to support me if you enjoyed the video. I'll be working on some videos in the meantime, but I think that this was one of the most important new bits of information we received in the 3.3 livestream. Hope you guys have a great rest of the day, and I'll see you guys all in the next one.